As of recently, I've been entertaining the thought of me having it all. I look at people that have a lot in terms of materialistic shit, and as far as influence and power, and I imagine myself in that position. And I look at what other person's doing, and a lot of them are doing some crazy shit, and some aren't. You have very famous actors that have a very minimalist lifestyle, and then you have these very famous music artists that are just going fucking ape shit ballistic, doing random shit that almost seems like they're trying to sabotage it, but they can't. And I picture myself in each of those positions, and as of right now, I'm like, shit, all I want is to be able to fix my car with ease whenever I want. Or to be able to go to the grocery store and just buy whatever the fuck I want. Without be like, all right, let me just not buy that right now because I don't want this bill to come out to $50 at a fucking regular ass grocery store. And I'm like, what would life be really without being concerned about those things? Like, I almost think there's gonna be a sense of emptiness. But then the way I respond to that in my head, it's like, no. I think the huge problem is when your money matures faster than you do. I think there would be a huge, huge feeling of emptiness if I were to just make, let's just say, 30K a month right now, or land this like just do so well financially at such a young age by just locking in, by just not really surrounding myself with people, just getting the bag by myself without making connections, without being in a relationship. You have all this fucking money and there's nothing you can do. All you can really do is just buy a fucking relationship. You're going to pay for this, you're going to pay for yourself to get here, you're going to flaunt your money, and that's how you're going to get your friends. You're just buying your way to the top, and it just seems weird at that point. Because you know deep down that without that fucking money you have, you wouldn't have any of this shit. And I'm starting to feel like maybe I gotta get all these connections. I gotta be around these kind of people who have money, or just have a bunch of fucking friends. Be in a relationship like I am right now without having a lot of money. And building myself up with all of this on my back. People say, oh, put your head down and grind and all throughout your 20s. It's like, okay, but live life a bit too. But that's not the main thing I want to talk about in this video. What I really want to talk about is just how I notice people who have a lot of fucking money try to sabotage where they're at. You see it with a lot of famous people. They start doing drugs, or they start doing a bunch of random shit. You see Kanye right now just going stupid, doing some crazy shit, and he looks insane. But I almost feel like once you have so much of everything and you can do anything you want, you purposefully try to sabotage where you're at. And look, it doesn't really seem to work because let's just say Kanye is a prime example right now. It's like he's doing all this shit, but what the fuck's happening? Now he's just labeled as insane. And he's getting more attention with it. He's getting more money with it. And it just shows like what happens to people when they just have so much influence, when they have so much money. It's not a natural thing. And I myself too do think that I would just completely change if I had a lot of money or if I got it. I'm not saying that Kanye got it like that, but just to switch off a little bit. If I were to have a bunch of money right out of nowhere, that it would change me for the worse. You know, sometimes I think you don't get things right away when you want it because you have certain things to learn. You have still yet to learn. You need to mature before you land this fucking big bag. There's still a bunch of life experiences that are crucial. It's something you can't miss out on, or else that shit is gonna blow up in your face. You fucking become suicidal because you fucking are living your so-called dream, right? It's just something I've been toying with in my head also. This whole having everything, the abundance is unnatural. But what is natural and what's not? I mean, at this point anymore, right? You got all this crazy shit going on. I mean, shit, if it's happened to us humans, then it probably is natural. Because oftentimes people go based off the whole unnatural, natural thing, based off of just how it used to be, right? The whole kind of primal times when we used to hunt and things were scarce. Now we have everything. And now we get to see how we all react to it. It's just something I've been thinking about.